I don't think, well, here's the thing. I don't think there's any question now that Jimbo Fisher has to hire an offensive coordinator. Like, their offense is so putrid. And Connor Wegman, we thought maybe looked a little better. No, not better with him either. Like, they need new ideas.
Yards per attempt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They need new ideas. They need something new. They cannot fire Jimbo Fisher, or they would have to pay him $86 million. I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't. But just in case, I am pulling up the calculator app on my phone because we're a Bad at Math podcast.
Wow. This really took a turn.
$21.5 million up front. The rest of it paid out over the next 9 years. Would you seriously consider it at this point, Ari?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got through that because I still don't think it's possible. Nobody I've talked to said it's possible. Everybody that you hear anything from says, well, there's a clause in his contract about insubordinate. No, his contract's on the internet, people. You can read it. It spells out very clearly how he can be fired for cause. It's not what you think it is. So if you want to go read it, type in Jimbo Fisher contract PDF and it'll come up. So he's got to hire some.
People smarter than us read it first before he signed it.
Exactly. Exactly.
With that much money at stake, you can bet your ass that the language is exactly the way that Jimbo Fisher wanted it.
Exactly. So Ari, he's got to hire an offensive coordinator. That has to happen. They are not going to a bowl game now. Obviously, it's been open season. We know how tampering works. It's everywhere. It's been open season on that whole recruiting class pretty much since the wheels started coming off. How much of that recruiting class do you think is at Texas A&M come spring practice?
Half.
Which would be a devastating blow.
Which would mean 9 top 100 players leaving.
Yes.
Which is double what a top 5 class will sign in this year's cycle.
Right. And we don't know where they'd go. And it might be all different places.
Yeah, it just might be like Hanukkah. Everybody gets a night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how do they... Yeah, okay. How do you... I'm going to put you in it because you're Mr. Recruiting. You're Mr. Stars Matter. Yeah. I'm going to put you in Jimbo Fisher's shoes. You don't have to talk as fast, but...
Do I get a gold Rolex?
You better. You better have one and some fancy custom boots, some Lucchese's. Yeah. So... I am one of the members of the class. Let's say I'm a 5-star defensive lineman. I have played some. I've been somewhat productive. My ceiling is through the roof.
I'd probably change the position because you could sell a defensive lineman there, I think.
You think so?
I think that would be the easiest person.
Okay, I'm Evan Stewart.
The receivers are
I'm Evan Stewart. Yeah. Coach, you guys were so thin at receiver that you decided I had to be wide receiver 1 at one point. I would like to be wide receiver 1, but can I be wide receiver 1 in a functional offense? What are you going to do about that, Coach? Because I got Billy Napier calling me. Well, he's not calling me because that would be against the rules, but I got people who know him calling me, and they're saying Anthony Richardson's going to stay, and I can catch passes from him because they don't really have any dynamic receivers. I got people from Auburn calling me because they're saying they're flipping their whole roster. I got people from Alabama calling me because they didn't have any dynamic receivers this year. I got people from Tennessee calling me going, did you see what we did with these guys this year? What are you going to do, Coach?
And the funniest thing about it is that like the NIL thing that we already got an NIL here comment, but that's not going to sell them right now.
Right, they already have an NIL deal with A&M. Somebody else is going to offer them an NIL deal and a better offense to play
and the stakes are higher because you're trying to get drafted.
Right.
You might be able to get your NIL deal your freshman year and get some guaranteed money, but the second you become a sophomore, you're a year and a half away from the draft process. You're playing with a pretty large stake when it comes to financial implications. You know what I would say? I mean, I don't even know what you do say, but I would say this has been a building process. Everything that you guys envisioned when you signed last year can still come true, but the only way that comes true is if you stay. How you going to
make me stay, Coach? How you going to make me stay?
I'm 100% dedicated to looking in the mirror and accepting the faults that we've had offensively this year. And in doing so, I will hire the most qualified and smart offensive coordinator with your best interest in mind to not only help you personally in your goals of achieving first-round draft pick status because you have the talent to do so, but you have my word that A&M will have you and the rest of this class in mind as we restructure our offense next year, because it's not just you that's got skin in this game. I do as well. I need you to trust me like you trusted me a year ago. I love you. I want this program to succeed. I want this offense to be great, and we're going to do everything in our power financially and, work ethic-wise to change that.
You going to throw me the rock, Coach?
I'm going to throw you the rock.
Deal. Where's my NIL money?
I don't know if that's good enough, but I think that's kind of like what else do you say?
I think that's all he can say, and he has to have real answers, and he has to have real answers fast.
Because the thing about it is that there will be real answers that are guaranteed in the portal.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly.
You got to take a leap of faith to stay.
Right.
You can have the proof of concept is already there at the places that are going to come after them.
Tennessee doesn't even have to tamper. Like,
you watch the Alabama game?
Yeah, like they just have to post YouTube clips. Like and Florida and Florida State and Miami, these are all places that are like portal open for business. We need receivers. Alabama is going to be like, we need receivers. Let's go.
There was a really big theme on Saturday. There's a lot of incompetent offenses this year.
There are.
More so than like, and when I say incompetent, I mean like awfully hard to watch.
Yeah, just frustrating. Like, how can you?
Yeah,
you practice every day. How can you not do anything?
Literally.
Yep. So, North Carolina, that's one. Drake May stuck here another year because the NFL has an age limit.
Well, I mean, Downs is so good.
He is, but he may be gone.
North Carolina would be a hell of a place for Evan Stewart.
Yeah, and we keep using Evan Stewart for an example, but like those D linemen don't all have to stay either.
Right. I think the defensive linemen have more proof of concept. Didn't they have?
They've almost all played.
They've all played. They've all been pretty good, and they've had linemen drafted on the defensive line the last few years. Like I think the thing with a defensive lineman too is that your tape is your tape. Like when you're a receiver, you're reliant on somebody else.
Someone has to throw you the ball,
yes,
and the play called has to be. You're right. A defensive like Jalen Carter, you put him on any team in the country,
he's getting drafted,
and the NFL is going to be like, "We love you."
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Harold Perkins, same thing.
Oh man, how great was Harold Perkins?
I just had to say that just to turn the knife a little bit because he should be on A&M's roster right now, right?
That's the A&M fans probably thinking that, going, "Oh,
they're watching it, but going, God."